I'm 17. I'm from originally Pottstown, but I've lived in Westchester, and now I live in King of Prussia. When did I start skating? I think I started like pushing around when I was like 7 or 8, but I didn't really start taking it seriously until like 3 years ago. Still don't take it that seriously, but that's when I really started skating, I'd say, when I was 14. Is that sure? What's 17 minus 3?
You guys aren't spray painting anything down here, right?
No, I just hit the top of it. I didn't spray paint anything.
Okay, alright.
When I first started skating, it was just like friends and people to hang out with that I never would have known. I guess like as I got older, like 15, 16, even though that's like 2 years ago. I don't know. It got me into doing drugs and then got me out of doing drugs. Made me meet a lot of cool drug dealers and then people who were against drug dealers, so I guess that helped shape me. I don't know. I could pretty much relate everything in my teenage years back to skateboarding in the sense that like everything I do somehow revolves around like something I learned in skating. So basically, timeline of me taking photos is I think I was 15 and I like saved up a little bit of money, bought still the camera I'm using now. It's old Canon, and I had like lenses, but I didn't have a fisheye, and like I quickly realized that like in skateboarding you can take good pictures, but you need a fucking fisheye. Am I allowed to curse? Alright, so you really need a fucking fisheye. And I forget what I did. I stole money from someone or stole something and sold it to get $100, and then my friend Jake, rest in peace to his skating career, he's now in like a parent arranged marriage. I gave him $100 and he gave me his fisheye, which I'm still using today. Thank you, Jake. Basically after doing that, I would just like take what I thought were good, but like now that I look back, really shitty pictures of my friends. And I don't know, I kept doing that, and then I just kept like, I have a really big mouth, so I just kept reaching out to people that were better than me and like annoying them into teaching me things. And then after that, I would like shoot pictures and like blow up different magazines' emails, and none of them would be happy with it at all. And like I would flip through these magazines and see pictures, and like in the least cocky or like about myself way possible, I'd be like, these guys, their fucking pictures are terrible, like why aren't my pictures in here? And then my first feature was with Skate John out of New York, and I like blew up their email for months with photos and sent it to Skate John, and then like probably 2 or 3 months later, they released like this special issue, and I just ordered it. And I remember I was like sitting on my couch and I was flipping through it, and I got to like the second to last page, and I looked at it, flipped past it, and then went back, and I was like, this is my photos in here. Like, that has my name on it. So that was my first feature. And then since then, basically just by word of mouth and like shooting all the time, which is the most important thing. You gotta shoot all the time, even if it's shitty stuff. Just kept sending it to people. I got a feature in Confusion, which is a European skateboard magazine. It's like Europe's Thrasher, kinda. They ran a frontside air from this trip, my first like pool skating trip I took. I shot a frontside air. That's a crazy story. It was like about the thunderstorm. We had like 2 seconds before like the people were kicking us out of their property, so shot that. Since then, I've been doing a lot of freelance shit with Low Card. Wrote an article for them. They've run a couple of my pictures. They ran a bunch online. Just printed my first full page for them. Then like smaller magazines. Shout out East Coast Overdose. They just gave me 2 full pages and a double page feature. So that's pretty much how I got into getting shit run, I guess. Just word of mouth and being annoying. Fairmans to me is like home base. It's like not to be the corny, like stereotypical fucking angsty teen who's like trying to get a home away from home. That's what it's been since I was little. I got a punk rock tattoo against the word of my mother. I'll show that to you now. It's the casting couch. And also, because of meeting Jared Sherbert, he likes to send me free t-shirts, so you guys should sign his DM. This is the tattoo. It's almost healed. It's the Black Flag shears. My mom was not pleased with it, but I'm punk rock, so fuck my mom, right?
name's Daniel, aka Worm. I've been skating for a long time. Been skating for what? Since '96. Been traveling, here, the East Coast, West Coast. But yeah, it's been fun skating. It's been a lot of fun. When I started skating, I was getting in a lot of trouble. Hanging out with wrong people, dealing with wrong people. Someone just gave me a skateboard, said, hey, you can change your life or you can just keep going what you're doing. And I said, hey, I want to change my life. Started pushing. So I just kept pushing. Just watching the other people, progress, trying to progress with them, trying to keep up, trying to keep up with times and stuff, and just keep skating, just don't ever stop. I know I've been a couple of times I've stopped because I've been doing, skating into some dumb shit, but skateboarding almost got me out of it. Coming here, I've been coming here for at least good 10 years. This place has always been nice to me, hooks it up. I can describe it as new tricks. Everybody came out with some new tricks out here. I haven't seen tricks out here, like, how do you want to say it? It's like just, people progress and the tricks progress, and I know the East Coast has a lot of rippers too, same as the West Coast. Yeah, like, there was this one, I remember one time I met this dude, this one dude, he was a junkie. And I didn't want to let him use my board because I thought he was gonna run off with my board and stuff. And I let him use it, and he started busting out. He started just doing all these crazy tricks. All these, flips and stuff that I didn't even knew about. I found out they were called pressure flips.
Yeah.
And so once this guy taught me how to, hey, you'll put your foot right here, put your foot right there, and I was just like, well, why am I listening to this junkie?
Yeah.
What's the whole point of listening to this junkie? But then the one thing that stuck to me that I always think of is never do that shit ever, because then it just goes downhill. And he said the one thing he misses was his board. And ever since then, I just never let my board down.
1, 2, 3, 4. Let's roll. Let's rumble.
My name's Mike Mole. I'm 26 years old, and I'm the owner of Fairmans. I was born in San Diego, Carlsbad, California. Moved over to PA when I was 4 years old. Started skating when I was 8 years old. My friend Mikey Burkhart got me into it. He got his first board here. I came with him. Soon after that, I got a board from here as well. And did a lot of traveling in my early teens. And when Dave put me on the team when I was 17, I was through the roof. It was my first sponsor. I looked up to the shop for many years, going to Borderline and just being a little kid coming into the shop. So I was really, really, really psyched to be a part of it. And as time went on, he was ready for a transition. He had been running the shop for 35 years, and he wanted to pass it down to somebody he knew. So I was working at UPS, and I was ready for a transition in my own life. Dave had been working at the shop for 35 years and was ready to embark on something different. So when I heard the shop was going under, I kind of had an idea in my mind that I would like to step in if at all possible and see if we can keep things going here. So I talked to Ray Pareca, who was employed here at the time, close buddy, and he passed my word to Dave. And Dave was talking to some of the Element guys and a couple other people, and when my name came across his desk, he was like, yeah, maybe this would work. Let's see if we can run this. Talked to him a little bit more, and we figured out that it could be a realistic goal. Ended up taking out a loan, using all my college money and working with him, and we made it happen in 2015. So skateboarding means a great deal to me. It always has in my life. Ever since I was 8, it became almost my whole world. When you're growing up and you don't have a lot of friends, or you feel weird, or you feel like you don't quite fit in, it's perfect. It's perfect for any person like that. It gives you something to do on your off time, something to work towards. And I definitely identified with all the weirdos that are in our industry and all the eccentric, artistic people. One day, if we're lucky enough, we'll be 90 years old and looking back at all this stuff and explain to our grandchildren why we can't walk. And we'll have some funny stories and some examples to show them. But it means a lot. It means a lot for anybody that feels like they're an outsider. It teaches you a lot of things, to get back up when something doesn't work out. And if you work at something really hard, doesn't matter if you're good at it or not, eventually you'll get it down. And a lot of those things transfer over into real life scenarios. So when you grow up, falling down and realizing that after a while, if you just keep at it for a while, it'll work out. You apply that to other parts in your life, and you realize you can get through, and you can, even if you suck at something right now, you can get good at it later. Maybe you get great if you're lucky. Skateboarding saves lives, man. I grew up skating with a couple close friends that I still hang out with time to time now. Jake Jones, Henry Jones, Aaron Roberts, a bunch of other people too. But when we were growing up, it was really cool because we were so outside of the skate industry that we could really kind of do our own thing, and we'd kind of peer in. And we're really psyched now that I can look around and see a bunch of people that I grew up skating with still in their industry and doing really well, and paving a way for them as a career, which is really just a form of staying in it and being able to keep skating. So I think that's the coolest part, and the fact that they can affect other people and inspire other people in certain ways. It doesn't all have to be too serious either. But I'm fortunate to grow up with the people I grew up with, because I feel like they kind of shaped my perception of what skateboarding should be. And the fact that we were all the way over here on the East Coast, we got to kind of watch the industry as a movie, and then later dive into it when we were a little bit older and ready for it. And we got to experience like raw East Coast skateboarding at its finest, which is rough sidewalks and not perfect spots, and when you get stuff on those spots, it feels pretty cool. You feel like you're doing something good, like getting a Ricky Iola clip or something, or you start thinking and idealizing like Matt Reason and all these people that we would look up to. Now we're kind of following in their footsteps and skating the same terrain, which is pretty cool.